Welcome to another edition of Take 5. We are in John chapter 6, verse 52. The Jews then disputed among themselves, saying, "How can this man give us his flesh to eat?" So Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever feeds on my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day. For my flesh is true food, and my blood is true drink. Whoever feeds on my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me, and I in him. As the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so whoever feeds on me, he also will live because of me. This is the bread that came down from heaven, not like the bread the fathers ate and died. Whoever feeds on this bread will live forever." Jesus said these things in the synagogue as he taught at Capernaum. Alright, now this passage is a little strange and a little spooky, kind of, a little gruesome. Jesus says, whoever drinks the blood of the Son of Man, whoever eats his flesh, has eternal life. Okay, now is he talking about cannibalism? Is he talking about somebody actually eating his body, drinking his blood? Well, no. And if you look at the Lord's Supper, he uses bread to represent his body and juice to represent blood. Well, here he's using his flesh to represent being consumed with him, being consumed with the things he did, with his works, with what he thought, with what he taught. Alright? Jesus has to sustain us. He's more important than any. See, when you use the thing bread and drink, those are the most important things. You can't live without them. So you can't live without Jesus's flesh. In other words, what he did here on earth. You got to be consumed with that. And then his blood. Okay? You can't live without the salvation that comes through his blood. That's what that represents. It represents the forgiveness of sins. So, if you want eternal life, you need to be consumed with Jesus. That's what eating his flesh means. You're consumed with the things he did, with his purpose, with his vision, with the things he taught, like I said. And then his blood, the forgiveness. You have to have that. Alright? Kind of complicated, kind of strange, and it's enough, frankly, for this Take 5. I just want to make a couple more points, though. He mentions again about eternal life. I will raise him up on the last day. And then verse 58, whoever feeds on this bread, and he's talking about himself here. You know, before he used the word flesh, now he's using the word bread. Whoever feeds on this bread will live forever. So there's a promise of eternal life. And again, if it's eternal, how can you lose it? Alright? We're going to continue this theme because Jesus talks about this stuff all the time on the next edition of Take 5.